What's up everybody, my name is Speqtor and welcome to the very first episode of a brand new series here on my channel called Let's Talk Pokemon, where we, you guessed it, talk about Pokemon. Go figure, right? Facts, trivia, rants, theories, and the occasional bad Pokemon pun are all par for the course, and it's all happening right here. Today, we're gonna look at some strange coincidences and or things you may just not have noticed in Pokemon. But I can't kick the series off on my own, so I'll get a helping hand from friend and fellow YouTuber, TheMarioDude1. Say hi, Edward. Edward?
Oh, hey Speqtor. I was just chewing away the crickets from that awful pun you just made.
Awful? I thought that was good. Helping hand? You're helping me start the series?
Well, I think we'd all appreciate it if you stopped using terrible puns.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen anytime soon. I love me some Pokemon puns, so this is just the beginning.
Speaking of beginnings, in the first episode of the anime...
Hey, whoa there, Edward. Hold your horses. My show, I get the first one.
Sorry.
It's okay, Edward.
My bads.
Anyway, in the first episode of the Pokemon anime, Ash sees Ho-Oh flying through the sky after defeating an angry flock of Spearow. In Pokemon Gold and Silver, what item is Ho-Oh holding? None other than the Sacred Ash.
While we're in the realm of Gold and Silver, the Arcanine and Ninetales lines are exclusive to Gold and Silver respectively. If you ever forget which line is from which game, just remember the shinies. Gold, Arcanine, and Silver, Ninetales.
Ninetales' shiny form is also a reference to its origins from the legend of the nine-tailed kitsune, which is Japanese for fox. The story tells of a kitsune of advanced age whose fur is turned to silver gold, and upon gaining its ninth tail, gain the powers equivalent of a deity, bearing omnipotence, omnipresence, and omniscience. Not only that, legends say that kitsunes with multiple tails could breathe fire, create illusions, and had incredibly long lifespans, and, after living long lives, take on the form of spirits. This could explain why Vulpix and Ninetales are able to learn ghost-type moves like Hex and Confuse Ray.
Whoa, I never knew that. Impressive!
It is pretty cool.
Arcanine and Ninetales aren't the only Pokemon with coincidental color schemes. Mesprit, Azelf, and Uxie are pink, blue, and yellow in coloration.
Hey, that kinda reminds me of Palkia, Dialga, and Giratina.
Maybe the Lake Trio's colors are representative of their legendary higher-ups.
This isn't the only example of possible representative color schemes. The main legendaries in Black and White, Reshiram, Zekrom, and Qrew, are said to have split from a single dragon long ago. Reshiram is the manifestation of truth, Zekrom of ideals, and Qrew is the empty shell that was left over. Though all three are separate entities, each one has one aspect about them that ties them all together. Zekrom's eyes are the color red, being representative of Reshiram's fire typing. Reshiram's eyes are blue, being representative of Qrew's ice typing, and Qrew's eyes are yellow, being representative of Zekrom's electric typing. Also, just because it's kind of amusing, I want to point out that Pokemon 2 has a blue eyes white dragon and a red eyes black dragon. Can anyone say Yu-Gi-Oh? Karibo, I choose you.
Did you seriously just make that connection?
What? I thought it'd be fun to mention. Besides, that's not the only franchise with ties to Pokemon. Kinda like how Giraffrig's tail looks like a chain chomp, or how Shroomish is pretty much just a Goomba.
Oh wait, and Pulseman!
Pulseman?
You're probably too young to remember.
Edward, I'm like 7 years older than you.
Pulseman was a game created in 1994, developed by Game Freak and published by Sega. Pulseman is about a doctor who creates an artificial intelligence known as a sea life. He falls in love with the artificial intelligence, trons himself into the computer, and makes love to it. And the resulting in half-human, half-sea life love child. The love child's protagonist is known as Pulseman. His mission is to defeat his father, because his brain was corrupted by the aforementioned troning, and Pulseman must stop his evil cyber-terrorist gang called Team Galaxy from taking over the world!
Wait, what?
Because most of the Game Freak developers went on to create Pokemon, many aspects of Pokemon seem to draw inspiration from their past endeavors.
Did you say he made love to it?
Rotom is an obvious pick to find inspiration from Pulseman, but Bisharp and Leedian also seem to draw inspiration from Pulseman. So,
you're saying he banged the sea life?
Pulseman's signature move was called the Voltessa? Which directly translates the word Volt's Tackle. Sound familiar? The signature move of the Pikachu line? Volt's Tackle? Shares the same name. Even the battle animation seems to draw tons of inspiration from its namesake.
He boned the AI?
Yes, okay? This is Japan we're talking about. Haven't you seen their commercials? And what about hentai? Are you seriously gonna tell me that a doctor digitizing himself, uploading himself to the computer so he could do the horizontal tango with an artificial intelligence is too far out of the realm of reason?
Ah, yeah, good point.
Anyway, it should be noticed that the cyber-terrorist group, Team Galaxy, is pretty obviously the inspiration behind Generation 4's Token evil organization, Team Galactic.
He also looks a lot like Mega Man, except Mega Man came first in 1987.
Are you accusing Game Freak of riding the coattails of Mega Man's popularity?
Oh, no, you misunderstand. But while we are on the subject of Mega Man, let's talk about some of my favorite Pokemon, Joltik and Galvantula.
Do you mind if I take this one?
Oh, please, by all means. Your accent will probably do them more justice anyway.
Joltik and Galvantuna are electric bug-type Pokemon from Generation 5. These cute little balls of yellow fluff are obviously inspired by spiders.
But what about the electric typing, we hear you guys asking?
In Mega Man X4, the jungle level's boss is a web spider, the commander of the Repler Force's guerrilla units. He's pretty much just a robo spider. But more importantly, his color scheme consists of primarily yellow. And one of his signature moves is to fire electrified webs at Mega Man. Sounds kinda like Joltik and Galvantuna, right?
That's pretty crazy, but Edward, I am gonna blow your freaking mind.
Oh god, please don't shoot me!
What? No, I'm not going to shoot you. I meant blow your mind like, ugh. Never mind. Okay, what if I told you that The Legend of Zelda directly inspired an entire generation of Pokemon?
Dude.
Right? Sounds crazy, doesn't it?
Dude. Mind blown.
You little motherfucker.
Okay, lay it on me. How are Pokemon and Zelda connected?
In The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, the first part of the game has Link traveling around Hyrule to collect the 3 spiritual stones, the Goron's Ruby, the Zora's Sapphire, and the Kokiri Emerald. The Generation 3 Pokemon games, Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald, obviously share connections simply by name, but the similarities go even further. Gorons are a mountain-dwelling people, if people is the term that you would use for whatever this is, who reside on the quiet, cozy, peaceful Death Mountain. Death Mountain is a barren, rocky place whose main exports are rocks and bomb plants because who needs real food? Anyway, the Goron's Ruby is given to Link by Darunia, the leader of the Gorons, after defeating King Dodongo and allowing the Gorons passage into the Dodongo Cave, where their primary food source, rocks, can be found. Darunia, I don't know if you realize this, but your entire home is made of rocks. Seriously, you live in a mountain, which is essentially just a big rock. Your home is edible. You're surrounded by food, and you're concerned about Dr. Lizard McThrow bombs in my mouth running amok in a cave clearly named after his own species.
You okay?
Sorry, that fact has just always irked me.
Don't worry about it. Just continue.
Right, sorry. So, in Ocarina of Time, you're given the Goron's Ruby from the leader of the Gorons at Death Mountain. In Pokemon Ruby, your mission is to stop Team Magma from expanding the land, but also to stop and capture Groudon, the main asset to Team Magma's plan. Though it's a bit of a stretch, Groudon does seem to take some inspiration from the word Goron, or they share a similar root of some sort. It should also be noted that Groudon is a ground type, and he can learn the moves Ancient Power, a rock type, and Eruption, possibly in reference to Death Mountain and its fiery falling boulders, though that seems to be a bit out there. Edward, you okay?
I have seen God.
Alright, moving on. Link is given the Zora Sapphire after saving King Zora's daughter, Princess Ruto, from the belly of the giant fish jabu-jabu.
I can see where you're going with this. The Zoras are water-dwelling people that live in Zora's domain at the bottom of Lake Hylia. In Pokemon Sapphire, your objective is pretty much the same.
Exactly, except trade out Team Magma for Team Aqua, expanding the land for expanding the sea, and Groudon for Kyogre.
To make a similar point in the last, Kyogre is a water type, and though no parallels can be drawn to the words Zora and Kyogre, it can be noted that Kyogre is a sea-basic Pokemon, and that both he and Jabu-Jabu are based on large fish.
So, Is your mind blown yet?
Thoroughly. But what do the Qrew Emerald and Pokemon Emerald have in common?
Honestly, I couldn't find any connections between the two. However, if one were to consider that since there are no real gemstones of any plot significance in Pokemon Emerald, and that Rayquaza itself could essentially be considered the Emerald, then Sky Pillar can be compared to the Great Deku Tree. Both are tall, multi-leveled structures found in secluded areas, and upon finishing the required tasks within that area, you receive the token Emerald.
One small but sad difference is that the Sky Pillar doesn't really change and just stays there, while the Great Deku Tree takes a trip to the big orchid in the sky. Rest in peace, Great Deku Tree. Your introduction to Link's basic combat mechanics and Scottler killing techniques will not be in vain.
Exactly! So, Edward, what do you think about that theory?
It totally rocked.
Guys, if you liked what you just saw, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. It's super helpful to me, and it lets me know that you guys are enjoying my content. I want to give a massive shout out to my friend TheMarioDude1, aka Edward, for helping me out with this video. Links to his channel will be in the description. If you haven't already, join the crew and hit subscribe. I have a ton of stuff that I'm super excited to talk about in upcoming videos, so if you want to see that, then go ahead and hit subscribe. That way you'll be notified if I make a new video. Once again, big shout out to the Mario Dude, and thank you to you all for watching. My name is Speqtor, and stay bueno.